Hello, my name is Lee, and welcome to Journey of a Student Nurse. So, today I am very excited to be doing a Chewigem product review. I want to quickly say that this is not a sponsored video at all. All the opinions in this video are my own, and I'm very pleased to say that I'm absolutely amazed and blown away by how these products have been over the last few months, and I'm going to talk a bit about them shortly. I first want to say, a wee bit about the company and what they do and kind of who they're aimed at and whatnot. So, Chewigem started back in 2010, and the idea was to create products originally for just babies and toddlers who were teething, things like that. So, that's kind of where the products were originally aimed at when they first started. But then I think they saw an area in the market where people who were on the autistic spectrum, who had sensory processing disorder and whatnot, and where those kind of things were lying, they saw that actually these people tend to chew quite a lot, and also they maybe tend to need things to be stimming with and things like that. So they've kind of moved into that area of the market and they brought products into that area which have been very beneficial to over hundreds of thousands of people according to their website, and that's something absolutely amazing. And the sort of core team of Chewigem, they all have something to do with sensory processing, so they've all got a link to it in some way or another, which I think makes it even more, brilliant because they all have an insight to what they're talking about, and they are all able to come together and create products specifically for those who have sensory processing disorder. Now, they're not products for people who are autistic, they are products for those who have a form of sensory processing disorder. And again, people who are on the autistic spectrum can have sensory issues, but again, people who have other, say, learning difficulties, learning disabilities as well, do benefit from these as well. So it's not just aimed at one area of the market, it's aimed at quite a large market, specifically sensory processing. And I think that's something amazing about the company. So I'm going to move on to talk a bit about the products. So the way they rate their products is on three different levels. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. And they have three different ratings as well. They've got the durability, flexibility, and firmness. So that and the three levels are like the three levels, so 1, 2, and 3 kind of all fall into each of those areas. So that's the durability, the flexibility, and the firmness. So some of the products that I've got are, a mix of level 1 products, level 2, and level 3. So it's kind of a mix of all. So the products are not just, say, level 3 products, they can be a mix. So, for example, the Wave Bangle that I've got here, it is a level 2/level 3 product. So it's level 3 for its flexibility, as it's the most flexible one that I've got, and it's got quite a sort of firm sort of silicone sort of rubber type thing, and it's a non-latex material as well, which I think is really good as well, which I think makes it really good. So I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, I'm really good, and it's bright and colourful, which makes it even more appealing for myself. And it's the rainbow colour, and it's a mix of colours as well. I think there's like a blue, pink, and a purple one as well. But I chose the rainbow because I like that one the most. And when I'm choosing a product like this, I go with my gut instinct, and I chose the rainbow personally. That's how I chose it. So that's how that product came from. But again, the products do have a mixed rating. I'm not going to talk too much about the ratings of each product because that's getting quite specific. But again, you can say that they are a mix of sort of level 2, sort of level 3. So another example is Raindrop Necklace. This is a level 3 for its durability and its firmness as well. It's one of the firmer products that they've got. And so, but it's 2 for its flexibility, so it's mildly flexible, so it's in the middle. So it's somewhat, and again, same with the sort of hand fidget. It's around about a level 2 product. It's kind of quite firm, and it's quite durable as well. as well as this Eternity Necklace as well, which is again sort of a mix of level 2, level 3 as well, all rolled in there. So anyway, I've kind of shown you all the products that I've got now, so it's only the 4 Chewigems that I've got. But I want to talk a wee bit about each of them, so I'm not going to spend too long talking about them. And I'm going to sort of reveal at the end which one my favourite is and my go-to one for sort of everyday life, or maybe my top 2 actually that I always take with me. So the first one I'm going to show you is the rainbow coloured wave bangle, and it's wavy because it's kind of that wavy format, as you can sort of see there. And I really like it as it's bright, it's colourful, and this is one that I sort of, tend not to carry often as much, and I tend to keep it in my sensory bag at the moment anyway. I'd say at the moment. But I really like it, as I find it's, really, really good for multiple things. Now, it is sold as a bangle primarily, so bangles meaning you wear it on your wrists. Being a dude, you don't often wear wristbands or bangles as often, so it may not appeal to many males as such. But again, it's not necessarily aimed at females or males, it's aimed at both. I mean, I do personally tend to wear it sometimes. I'm not very good at wearing stuff on my wrists, as I find it gets quite uncomfortable, it gets quite claustrophobic, and it gets quite, I can't really tolerate it that well. So I find it's something that I don't always wear on my wrist, but alternatively, I found it to be a very good fidget toy as well, as it's something I can put in my hand. Because of its flexibility, I can sort of bend it, kind of like that. I can pull it a little bit. I won't pull it too much, or I'll snap it, and I can just kind of do things like that. And I can keep it in my hand as it's a good wee play toy there. But I also, when I'm certainly going about the places sometimes, I find it's a very good shoe as well. And it's something that I'll just kind of hold to and just chew a wee bit. So it's one that I really do like. I'm still maybe not personally a bangle person, but again, I could be swayed. But I find it really good to sort of see what I have. And I find the colours as well really nice. I'm not normally a multicolour person, but I find that this one's really good personally, for whatever reason. So my next one is the Raindrop Necklace. Now I have a tendency to want to keep calling this the teardrop necklace. I don't know why, and I don't think it gives it any justice to say it's a teardrop when it's more of a raindrop. But whatever you want to call it, I like this one. And this is one that I tend to wear as a necklace quite often. Now, personally, I'm not very good at tolerating to wear necklaces. Now, when at like university or I'm on placement, in the past I have worn a lanyard with my ID badge, and I can't always feel like I'll tolerate it that well. Now, I will quickly say, with infection control reasons, I would obviously wear it under my tunic. I would have it tucked under my tunic, so I would be away from any sort of patient contact, just for the nurses watching. But again, at the end of the day, I find this is one that I tend to tolerate quite well, as I find it's quite a nice large, sort of very low profile sort of cord that goes around the neck. And the benefit of all the Chewigem necklaces that you have is they have a snap away thing at the back. So if it does get caught in something, it will pull snap away and it won't get caught around the neck and it won't choke you, which is an absolute must, I think, personally. So, as I said earlier, this is one of their more firmer chews, and I find this is one that I quite like. I'm not very strong chewy person, but I do find it's one that I do quite like personally. So I think I'm not a heavy chewer as such, but I find it's one that I quite like. If I have a softer chew, such as the Wave Bangle, I find that just maybe a little bit too soft sometimes, and I want something a wee bit firmer. So I always find that this is one that I tend to wear. And when I'm out on placement sometimes, I sometimes will wear it around my neck and away, or have it in my pocket away, just away from, obviously, from the patient contact and whatnot. but I would keep that, just close by if I need something to chew. That's one that I tend to carry, it's maybe something a bit more on the ready. So the next one I'm going to show is my Eternity Necklace. Again, like the Raindrop Necklace. It's one that I would tend to carry maybe a bit more often, and I would keep that in my, just as I keep that as where I need it. So it's all the same idea, just the teardrop. It's a necklace, raindrop even. See, I'm calling it a teardrop now. So again, it's something that I would wear around my neck, and it's one that I tolerate quite well. Compared to the raindrop one, this is a little bit heavier. So I do find that wearing this for everyday use is something that gets a bit cumbersome and it's a bit bulky. So for most days, I tend to go with the raindrop one as it's a bit more low profile. But what I quite like about the Eternity Necklace is if you notice around the sides, there's different thicknesses. So one side's a lot thinner and one side's got a much larger profile. So there's days when I might want to use this one and I feel like I'm wanting to chew quite heavily. I've got the heavy chew side, and if I want to have a sort of lighter chew, I go to the other side where it's a wee bit softer. So it's a nice sort of in between the two, sort of nice mix, which I quite like. And so it's not too bad. And again, if I'm on placement, I'll tend to kind of maybe keep it in a pocket somewhere, maybe keep it around my neck, out tucked under my tunic, just if I'm not using it at all. But it's not, I don't often tend to wear them. I tend to keep them hidden in my pockets, just wear and use it when I sort of need it, if I'm just away from sort of areas, or if I'm just out and about, I'll maybe again keep it in my pocket. As I find wearing it around my neck, it can be a bit more obvious sometimes, and just with some of the stigmas around autism and Asperger's, it can be a little bit, I feel like I don't want people to ask me what it's about, what these are for. So it's that sort of thing. And finally, I've got this sort of wee hand fidget. Now, this is probably one that I really like. Again, it's designed with the chew in mind. It's quite a firm chew, it's quite a durable one. But I find it's really nice because it's got this wee spinner bit in the middle, as you can probably see, this wee black bit. So I've chosen the camel colour ones as I find it's quite a nice one. And I'm like with the wave bangle, it's one that I'll tend to keep, in my pocket or in my hand quite a lot. So this is something that I really like. Of all the Chewigems that I own, this is one that I don't tend to chew often, mainly because I want it to last as long as it can, personally. But mainly because I like the spinner bit in the middle, and I find that that works best in my hand, and I find that it works most as a hand fidget. And sometimes if I don't have any other chews with me and I have this one and I feel like I need to chew, I'll kind of keep it hidden in my hand a wee bit, and it's low profile enough so I can keep it hidden but still chew at the same time. So it's something that I quite like, and it's probably one of my favourites. So here are my ratings. So here are from the ones that I use maybe the least. I tend to kind of keep the wave bangle and my Eternity Necklace in my Sentry bag in my rucksack, as I don't really tend to use them that often. As again, the Eternity Necklace, I find for myself, it's just a little bit heavy, it's a bit bulky for when I'm wearing my uniform, or if I'm going about, I'll still take it, I'll wear it as well, but it's not one that I'll often use. And again, it's one that I want to keep in quite good condition, because of the thicker side and the thinner side, it's nice for different levels of chewing. So I want to keep that for as long as I can, and want to keep it in good condition. The wave bangle, again, I tend not to use as often for the same reasons. It's just for the length of its life. I want to keep it for as long as I can. And again, it's a really good hand fidget as well, and it's one that I'll kind of take, now and again, what I'll use for various things. And when if I'm out and about in the supermarket, I find it's one that I can't really keep hidden in my hand as well. So it's not one that I would tend to go to as much, but it'd be one that I would use if I really had to, if I couldn't find my ones. Forbid that ever happens. But the two that I tend to use the most are the hand fidget and the raindrop. And the reasons I tend to use the hand fidget more is, again, it's got that spinner bit in the middle, and I can spin that for hours if I need to, and I absolutely love it. And it's one that really works for me. And again, I can put it in my tunic pocket, or I can put it in my trouser pocket where needed, and I will not lose it, which is something that I really do enjoy. And I will quickly say, when I have been on placement recently, these products have really been absolutely beneficial when I've had really stressful days. And it's been nice just to, when I've had a wee break or whatnot, just to take some time on my own, and just to, if I need to, just to step more, just to chew, just to do what I need to do, just to unwind. And it's been really nice to have these, available. And I'm really glad that I've had them on. And as I said before, this is a very low profile necklace, and it's one that I tend to wear when I'm maybe at uni or tend to be, out and about. As again, it's low profile, and when I'm wearing clothes, it's one that kind of doesn't get caught up as much. It's a bit more, more comfortable. And also, as I said, it's sunline, so you can't always see it that much. But that's just a personal preference for me. So I really highly rate Chewigem, and I do intend to buy more of their products in the future. So if you if you are if you're a sensory person and you chew quite a lot, you stim quite a lot, you're quite fidget with your hands, have a look at Chewigem. I'll leave a link into their website in the description below. I'll also leave a link to their Facebook page as well as their Twitter page as well. So please give them a like on Facebook and follow them on Twitter for their latest updates as well. They're also on Instagram as well. So follow them on social media, keep up to date with what's going on. And they've got, great things on offers at the moment. So I do thank you for your time. I hope that you've enjoyed this video today. It's something slightly different from what I normally do. So from myself here at Journey of a Student Nurse, thank you for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So that's Lee Dixon STN out for tonight. Bye for now.